Well, hello. I'm just driving here to a town called Navan in County Meath here, and it's a beautiful day here. Practically no clouds in the sky. 6 degrees centigrade. It's cold, okay, because we're in December here. But yeah, so I'm going over here to Navan, just a little wander around Navan town, and of course get a cup of tea. So you're all welcome to come along for a spin, and I can't go quick here because there's a big articulated lorry in front of me. So as you can see there, articulated lorry, lovely countryside here. County Meath here would have great farmland, real top class farmland for grazing cattle, and they do have sheep here too, but mainly cattle, dairy farms, beef farmers, and they would have a lot of, what would you call it, arable farming here too, like potatoes and corn, like barley, wheat, oats, mainly barley and wheat along here too. So yeah, it's real top-notch land in County Meath here, which is my county. But then again, as I said before in previous videos, I'm not into counties and borders and all that shit. But anyway, this is County Meath, and I am about 10 minutes from the town of Navan. So when we get there, I'll show you Navan. Okay, take care. Right, I'm just coming up here now to just have a look at these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. See them 5 trees just there. Just back there where those 5 trees are planted on the side of the road, there was a tragic road accident there. I don't know whether it was the end of the 80s or the early 90s. It was a school bus bringing secondary school children home, and I don't know exactly what happened, but it overturned and 5 of the students were killed, tragically died in the accident just back there. So I know they were resurfacing the road at the time, but I think the brakes as well, something to do with the bus was faulty as well. So it wasn't the driver's fault, but it was just a tragic accident. And I think it was 5 girls that died in that accident. So just back there, every time I pass there I feel really sad for the families, I have to say. Yeah, so that's just outside Navan here. So just here now is Johnstown. Take a left there, there's a shopping centre down there, and there is also loads of new houses along here. So a lot of people, particularly from Dublin, have come down and bought their houses here because they're cheaper than in Dublin. So Navan, like a lot of towns and villages on the east coast, are becoming fairly populated because of people moving out of the city to try and be able to afford to pay a mortgage on a house. So it's all so in other words, like Navan is growing as regards suburbia, if you want to call it, all these new estates. So you can see petrol's gone up there. Diesel is 162.8 a litre, and petrol is €1.72. Imagine that, it's €1.72 for a litre of petrol here in Ireland. Crazy stuff, crazy. There's some nice individual houses along there too. There's a railway bridge there. Yeah, so that bridge there is a railway bridge, and that's a railway line that goes all the way to Drogheda on the east coast there, and it's disused. Personally I think they should reopen that line. because Drogheda is real built up now, and Navan is real built up, and I think that if they open it up, it would do well. So here we are now, coming into the heart of Navan. And the first thing about Navan is, if you spell Navan backwards, you still get Navan. N-A-V-A-N. Spell it backwards. N-A-V-A-N. There's a little bit of trivia for you now. And also, you know Pierce Brosnan, who done the Bond films, and if anybody can remember the American TV series Remington Steele, and he's made loads of other films too, including that one Mamma Mia with Meryl Streep and that. Well, he was from Navan over here. And then Tommy Tiernan, I don't know whether he's been known outside of England and Ireland. Maybe he is a comedian, big comedian here in Ireland. He's from Navan. And also the comedian, which I like, Dylan Moran. Did you ever hear of him? Dylan Moran. And Dylan Moran would be really big in Britain and in Ireland. Yeah, so he's from here too. And then we have another TV guy called Hector, who came to notoriety from an Irish TV channel called Tina G. He travelled the world, basically speaking, for that TV station and commenting in Irish, and he's just a character, like, so he'd be really big here in Ireland, and he's done loads of documentaries and stuff. So they all came from here, from Navan. So yeah, I have to have a cup of tea, my friends. I have to have a cup of tea. Very, very important. I can't go through a day without a cup of tea. So I'll go in here now and have a cup of tea. Just stopped here at traffic lights. Vicks Beauty and spray tan and stuff in there. It's mad all the things the women have to do or feel that they need to do it. Spray tans and getting their nails done and their hair, and oh god, it never ends, is it? Right, I'm coming into the multi-storey car park here in Navan town centre, and there's a few cars in front of me, and I hate this shit, having to try and stay stationary on a hill. That's why you need an automatic car, because the car won't roll back. But I'm doing okay. Right, car right behind me. Ah, yeah, have it sussed. I have it sussed. Right, get the ticket. Hello, can I have a bag of chips and wrap the grease separately, and don't put any mayonnaise in the burger? Okay, thank you. I know what you want to say. What are you doing? But do you know these takeaway places like drive-thrus like McDonald's and who else does it? KFC as well, I think. Where I think they're just purely for lazy people who won't get out of their cars and go in and order their meals. But I always do it here to these car park places. Take the piss. Right, now is to find a car park space. It's very, very full here, my friends, very full. I'll go up again. Right, so welcome to Navan Town Centre car park. Okay. Leaves only for definite. It looks okay apart from the extended twisty arms and no hands. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but apart from that, I like it. Yeah, so that's the Navan shopping centre. I'm after coming through there and left my car in the car park in it, multi-storey car park. That was opened up in 1981. So they built a little bit onto it, but the majority of the shopping centre is there since 1981. And there's a kind of a square here with it has like there's a Dublin store shop over there, Regal Hair Salon, DV8 Elvery Sports. So there's more shops along there and car park space. Barber shop in there. Another Simply Honest Cafe. Well, I might come back there and see. So like this street here is the main street in Navan, and before the motorway was built, if you wanted to go to Galway or over to the west from where I live, you have to drive right through all these towns on your way to Galway. Right through here. Crazy, isn't it? The winery. There's a cool Santa there, look at that. Nice Santa. Nice snowman. The weather outside is frightful, but the wine is so delightful. Very good. Corner shoes. There's a load of shoes over there. That there is a McDonald's actually.
I just got a 5 McDonald's here.
Here's another lovely window display. It's a shoe shop here, but it's displayed lovely. And there's a picture, look, it's an old picture of Trimgate Street in the 1900s, courtesy of the Historical Society. Look at that, no cars there, just looks like a horse and a cart, and it looks like, you know, yeah, they're horses. I thought they were donkeys, but they're horses. Yeah, it's a nice shoe shop, I have to say. That's called Footwear Specialist Jack Kieran's. The Gate Restaurant, that looks... See, that might go in there as well for a cup of tea. Gagan's or Gyogan's, this place is called. If you're into coats and shirts, Jumpers in assorted colours, $59.50. Shirts from $52.50. I'm sorry they can stuff it because I'm not spending €52 on a shirt. Are you joking me? No way. Paddy Fitzsimons, obviously that's a bar. Your home of rugby. There's another nice place there. Camile, is it Camile? Fáilte. Right. Yeah, that looks nice in there, I have to say. It's a cold day, my friends, but it's healthy. $52 for you. News, food to go, hot and cold drinks. Right, I won't go any more up this street here. As I said, this is the main street if you were continuing on to Athy, or you know, if you're going across country before the motorway was built westward, you would go through all these towns and on this street here. So I'll turn and go back down. So that's if you're going west now towards Athy. Again, I find Navan a strange kind of a town. Don't ask me why, but I always found it strange. Kind of higgledy-biggledy, I'd call it. But they have some lovely individual shops, like little cafes, retail shops, and they're lovely displays on them. Christmas at Larry and what's that? N-O-R and Nora's. Larry and Nora's Public House and Garden. There's a hair salon in there. Keep calm and book your Christmas hair appointment. Nice house. And if you're into getting a tattoo, there is, what's it called? Holy Show Tattoo in there. I'm a little bit embarrassed now. There was a woman behind me there when I was looking at that tattoo shop, and she just started laughing at me. Fuck it, that's what I say, fuck it. You only live once, don't you? So there's another pub called the Railway Bar. Cocktails, traditional ales. In there. There's a man doing a great job cleaning the windows. There's a primary school there, St. Anne's Loreto Primary School. And here's a square here, and it looks like there's a market going on in it. So let's go in. And have a look. Jackets.
How are you there? Hello.
Hello.
$5 for the bag.
A $5 for the bag. I'll be back, yes. My car's over the far side. Huh?
5 minutes.
Okay, right. Okay. He was trying to get me to buy a bag of spuds there for €5. Great deal actually, but I'm not going to carry a bag of spuds all the way around the town, so.
Lee. Don't break anything to hold.
So they obviously have a market here in the square here every Friday, which is pretty okay. Navan Cycle Centre, sales and service. There. I've just noticed that they have loads of barber shops over here, and what do you call it, for the women, hairdressers, what do you call them? So they are obviously into getting their hair cut over here. There's an old church. Right, doesn't say. I'll try and read it off here. No. Yeah, old church. It's locked up there. Right, here's a hotel across the street here called the New Grange Hotel, just in here, right? If you're looking for a carvery dinner, a nice carvery dinner and a nice surrounding, I check out the New Grange Hotel here. I've been in there loads of times for carvery dinners, and I liked it. So check that place out, New Grange Hotel. Hello.
Hello.
So that church, we see it built with local limestone in the mid 18th century, replaced an earlier medieval church on the same site. The most famous rectors of Navan were their father and son, Daniel Cornelius and Daniel Augustus, from 1747 to 1880. The younger Dr. Beaufort was also a map maker. His son was Sir Francis Beaufort, who devised the Beaufort scale for measuring wind speed. A sea in the Arctic Ocean north of Canada bears his name. Wow. The New Grange Hotel replaces the Clubhouse or the Russell's Arms Hotel, which was built in 1837 by the Duke of Bedford as a meeting place for the gentlemen of the county. The New Grange Hotel continues to be a popular meeting place in the town. That's a lovely house over there, the stone townhouse with the yellow front door. Beautiful. So there's another pub across the road called P. Birmingham. It looks like it's closed at the minute. That's what I'm saying about Ireland, you certainly won't be short of a pub here in Ireland, that's for sure. What's the old courthouse? The old courthouse council, now solicitor's premises, was erected in 1632 by Edward Manning, who was both builder and architect. It is a slim two-storey stone building, noted for its 3 tall windows. The town stock stood here in former times. The plaque bearing the date 1798 commemorates the United Irishmen who rebelled against English rule in May of that year. The officers of the Navan Cavalry, John Preston and Philip Barry, requested troops from Kells and met the Wexford insurgents who were advancing towards Navan on the hill of Tara. The rebels' pikes proved futile against trained soldiers and cannon, and the rebellion was easily crushed. So some people from here took part in the 1798 rebellion. Down there is the Meath Chronicle. That's would be the local newspaper down there. Yeah, it's nice. Nice sculpture, all right. I like it. There's another coffee shop and restaurant over there as well. Very nice. And that's what I'm saying, there's some lovely shop fronts here in Navan. There's a little bakery over there. It's Turkish and international cuisine in there. The Royal Mead Bar. So That's an Italian place in there, Little Sicily Pizza. A picture framing shop there as well. So this is called the Valley Cafe over here. Let me just see what the prices are here. No, I just don't like the menu there at all. It kind of looks nearly all fast food kind of shit. So I go back up the town to that place I seen kind of way up the town here, and it looks really nice. So I'm going to try that for a cup of tea, my friends. And you're all welcome to come along. Well, I'm just getting something that I never get. It's a chicken type stir fry here, and look at it. And egg rice. Different. Cheers, people. Cheers. Right, so if you're in Navan, check out this place here called Camille. It's Thai food. My first time taking Thai food, and it's stir fry I had there, and it was absolutely delicious, I have to say. So check it out. It's called C-A-M-I-L-E, Camille, is it? Thai restaurant in Navan. Alright, people. That's it from the town of Navan. The town that's, if you spell it backwards, you get the same name, N-A-V-A-N. So it's a bit chilly here now, so I'm going to head on home. So that's it from Navan. As I said, you've seen there, they've some lovely shop front displays here, nice shops, and the surrounding area of Navan town is probably bigger than the actual town centre, because there's so many housing estates all around Navan here now. So that's it from Navan, my friends. Catch us all in the next video. Hello. I'm back over here in Navan again. This is the new year now. It's the 21st of January, so it's 6 weeks later. And I'm back over here in Navan because I forgot a very important part of Navan. And you may say to me, but Don, you're not in Navan, you're in the middle of the country here. Actually, I'm just on the outskirts of the town of Navan, and I'm just going to show you something here now. That's a very important part of Navan in County Meath, okay? Right. So, here's a gateway, and here's a field, obviously. There's all those trees over here, right? Now, as I said, I'm just on the outskirts of the town of Navan, and right under this ground here is the biggest lead and zinc mine in the whole of Europe. It's the 8th biggest zinc mine in the entire world, right? It has been in production since 1977, and it's not an open cast mine, it's all tunnels under the ground here, right? So they've extracted over 80 million tonnes of lead and zinc from under the ground here in County Meath since 1977. And there is over 300 miles of tunnels under the ground, under Navan town, probably goes out as far as Kells and Trim, but basically speaking, all under the ground to a depth of about 2,500 to 3,500 feet, okay? Now they're after discovering another vein of lead and zinc under the ground here. That's down to a depth of 1,900 metres, okay? 1,900 metres. And they're after getting permission, they've got to go ahead, of course, to extract that. So that's down over 6,000 feet under the ground here. But 6,500 feet under the ground, right? So there's enough lead and zinc there. So just think about it, like, look, all under the land, all over here is the biggest lead and zinc mine in Europe, the 8th biggest in the world. So yeah, so they're after getting permission to go ahead with the dig. It'll be down over 6,000 feet under the ground, which is maybe 6,500 feet under the ground, which will be the equivalent of stacking 6 or 5 Empire State Buildings, one on top of the other. So all the iron ore, they have, of course, it's a Swedish company that operates it. There's 700 people employed, and of course I'd say the majority of them live here in Navan town. And what else? Yeah, and then so they have state-of-the-art machinery all down underneath the ground, and big crushing machines under the ground, and big conveyor belts, and then it gets taken up to the surface, and it gets put into these big hopper what would you call them, big hoppers, right? And then it gets put onto a train. It has 12 wagons on the train. I don't know how many tons each wagon holds, because you know the mass of the iron ore and lead would be very, very, very heavy. It looks small, but it'd be like really heavy. And then the train engine, I think it's a 3,000 horsepower train engine, probably a former Belfast to Dublin Express engine, actually, and that goes on the railway line that I showed you at the start of the video coming in. When I went on that bridge, and I said the Navan line is disused. Well, it's disused only for passenger, but not for freight, because there's a train that goes from Drogheda to the cement factory over in the Leak, which is the biggest cement factory in the whole of Ireland. That's further out from here. Anyway, yeah, so I'm rambling on here a bit. Yeah, so basically speaking, that train and the 12 wagons on it brings the iron ore from here right up into Dublin port, unloads its cargo at Dublin port, and it gets exported on ships to 2 big smelter factories. One of them is in Finland and one is in Norway. But they also export the iron ore and lead to other European countries. I don't know exactly which ones, but I'm guessing that Germany probably will be one of them as well. So that's it. I had to come back and just do that video about Navan. So you wouldn't think it. Just look. You look out there. And you think I'm in the heart of the country, which I am in the heart of the country, but I'm just on the edge of Navan town here. You could walk into the town from here. So there you go. That's I suppose a big part that I missed on my little trip to Navan town. I just remembered it. I said, God, I didn't talk about the Tara mines. That's very, very important. So it's the biggest lead and zinc mine in the whole of Europe, and it's the 8th largest zinc mine in the entire world. And with this new, they're calling it Tara Deep, that new tunnel they're starting to excavate now and extract, will keep production going, do you reckon, for another 20 years. So from 1977 to present day to another 20 years. So that's it, my friends, from Navan in County Meath. I hope you enjoyed that little run around in Navan, and I'll see you all again in my next video, because actually I'm leaving here now and I'm going to another town outside of Navan here, 9 miles from Navan, called Trim in County Meath. So my next video will be from Trim in County Meath, so stay tuned people, and I'll see you in Trim. Okay, take care, bye.